Okay, everyone, I'm going to try to keep this somewhat short, as short as I can make it. But the toolbox comparison for me is over. This is the last day for you to go and enter, so make sure to go enter. If you spend $1, you get an entry, so every buck you spend, you get an entry. Odds are going to be really great. We'll see how many of you sign up for this, but we probably will end up maybe breaking even on this. I'm 35 G's into this sucker. I'm 31 G's, $31,000 into this thing, and so I'm 66,000 plus the attorney, plus all the the bond and all that stuff, and then shipping to you. I'm not complaining, but I did want to go through this exercise of getting hands-on, spending tens or dozens and dozens of hours with hands-on, with Snap-on, spending some more hours with Sonic over what I've already spent while having Snap-on in my possession. So in the future, it's like I bought a Corvette to compare to my M3, and now I know what I like and don't like. And some people seem to find that information valuable. I'm sort of compiling a body of knowledge because I really like tools. I really like using tools. I like working on my cars. I like having it in my garage. I want to have a great curated grouping of tools. So what better way to do it than to get, hands-on. I've been so fortunate that I have a business reason to spend $60-something thousand on some tools, and then I can kind of get out of that investment without losing too much money, or maybe even make a few bucks by including you, and then changing somebody's tool life by giving it at the end of this project. So we'll likely do the drawing probably the first Friday of October, and Mike will build us a crate for each one of these, and we'll be shipping it somewhere. It's US only, so keep that in mind. So let's get right into it. Snap-on toolbox, Snap-on Epic, 60-inch. I always keep forgetting what they call this color. It's like deep, midnight blue. Made in Algona, Iowa. Made in the USA. That's an extreme advantage for many of us. Made in the USA, made in Taiwan. So that you could argue is important. Fit and finish wise, go back and watch the initial toolbox video. We'll put a link in the description, and we have a whole series. Maybe we'll put the playlist in the description. I've spent dozens of hours with these suckers. Fit and finish is better on this. This is a heavier duty toolbox. I don't know why I would need it to be so heavy duty. Because I guess if you tried to fit a lot more than this really should be holding, then maybe the weight would get close to what this could handle. Each caster can handle 2,000 pounds, so you can handle 8,000 pounds, or I believe this one is rated at 6,000 pounds, 5,000 pounds. But both of these toolboxes, even this one that's fully loaded up, is nowhere near that weight. I think the weight of this is around 800, empty, and this is around 600 empty. So still, heavyweight, big hunks of metal. But the finish is better. The squareness of everything is better. The drawers are squarer. The handles again, the fit and finish is better. You have like things like this where they don't put a cap on the bottom, which is just kind of cheap. This toolbox is $14,800. This toolbox is $5,800. So we're approaching 3 times the price. Now, I talk about this in a video where I go through the data and go through the math and go through my experience of purchasing. I think I paid with tax, $11,000 even roughly for this. So there's rebates for financing, and then I don't know if I paid this off yet or not. There's rebates for financing, and then there's also just rando discounts. And because I'm a terrible negotiator, I probably got the worst discount. But I paid $11,000 for a $14,800 toolbox. So then I spent my time with this first, and I also worked on tools, right? Worked with a Snap-on rep. I got on the Snap-on. What I did is I got on the Snap-on website, and I spent about 3 weekends where I went through each tab. and then I added to my wish list, which was kind of nice to be able to do. They had a wish list on the site. The wish list doesn't work very well, but at least allows you to put it in a wish list. And so I went through and built what I thought was a really robust grouping of tools. This is about 80% of what I'd ordered from them or tried to order. You can't just order, because if you buy it from their retail site, you're paying their crazy retail price. And then if you get it from the truck, that's when they add all the discounts and stuff like that. So I think total discounts with this $35,000 toolbox, I think I'm $27,000 in. And so that's what I've spent. So there's quite a delta, quite a big difference between retail price and like the price that you pay. And there's probably a price below that you pay if you're a better negotiator than I am. I didn't negotiate squat. I just went in and said, hey, give me a good price. I'm going to buy this all at once. But I wasn't able to buy this all at once. I had to buy it over the course of weeks, where the truck would come and he had what he had and he'd try to order stuff. And so that part wasn't super fun to deal with. And so I still have some empty spots here, which you're not going to get because we couldn't value it in time for the raffle, and we couldn't, I still can't get them. They're still back ordered. So I guess one could argue that, Snap-on tools are very desirable, so maybe that's why I can't get them. But this is the ratcheting drawer with our 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2 inch drive. I didn't do any 3/4 stuff. This drawer might have been a little bit fuller had I gotten everything that I ordered, but I think we have a robust set of tools. We have SAE, we have deep, we have the smaller size. One thing that a lot of Snap-on guys made mention to me, sending either messages or making comments, is that their actual favorite is the one that I didn't buy, which is the mid-size socket. But the ratchets are okay. I don't love the premium you have to pay. So the average price to me, there's 476 tools in this box. And so the average price per tool is $47.20 or something like that, versus $15 for the Sonic stuff. And in my experience in using these are not, the screwdrivers are certainly not, I don't think anyone would argue that they make great screwdrivers. But this is the screwdriver drawer we have set up, and this is a Mantis tool grid, which I do sell in the store to help with organizing a box like this. There's nothing more I hate than seeing like the freaking plastic things that the Snap-on stuff comes in, lining a drawer. It's just so, I don't know, it's so disorganized. I just don't like it. And it's like, to me, it's like kind of like leaving the cellophane on your cell phone when you get it forever. Let's find a better solution. And so I have $2,009 worth of tool grid in this box across 7 drawers. Then we have wrenches, and the wrenches are probably the nicest. The wrenches were my favorite of the Snap-on stuff. They're still a little greased up, even though I've wiped them off several times. I guess what I need to do is get some brake cleaner out and really clean them deeply. They send them with some goop on it, and I wiped the goop off 3 or 4 different times. But I guess it's going to get gooped up anyway when you're working on dirty cars, because they're shiny. I tend to prefer a matte finish. I did order the 15-degree ratcheting wrenches, but they're still back ordered. And I did order another set, but they didn't come in. So I have the 15-degree offset and the 0-degree straight, longer double box end stuff. But I think these are the nicest wrenches. A lot of people like the flank drive. I just don't like that kind of weird flank drive-ness on the head of the ratchet. Some people had made mention they made a mistake not buying that, but whatever. The ratcheting or latching mechanism, I really don't like at all. I don't like how it just feels really cheap. It functions way better. I've seen some videos of some older boxes where people would complain that it doesn't function as well if you don't pull it in the middle. But I think they just maybe made it latch not quite as robustly. And so I found that even with drawers that are full, It doesn't really matter where I pull it, so that was pretty pleasing, to me. And the Epic box doesn't wobble as much as, say, the base boxes do. So I haven't found that to be an issue at all either. Things that kind of bother me is like just fit and finish stuff like this. Like some of the weld spots, like things are just always a little crooked. They're a little bit off. You can see, you probably can't see it on camera, but you can see on all the drawer faces where the spot welds are. I guess, can I see that on the Sonic? I don't think so. I can see it on my Sonic cabinetry over there, but the new Next version, it's just a cleaner setup. They're making it more precisely than the typical American stuff that usually has a little jank to it. These drawers I should not have done. These are stupid drawers. They're too narrow. Like, I need to get rid of this. This is a 1 inch tall or last 3/4 inch tall drawer. You can't freaking put anything in there. It's dumb. This, I guess you could fill with your, your lollipops and stuff, I don't know, or butt connectors and stuff. But even the system, you do have to screw it down, but it's not good, not good. One thing that Snap-on is not good at for sure, other than fit and finish, they're not very good at, is organization. They just don't care. I think it's because the tool is just a commodity to them. The toolbox is a commodity. Other companies that I've been like those Hazet tools over there, or Wera screwdrivers and stuff that I've been experiencing, things that I really, or like Sonic Foam, the foam systems. There's somebody behind this. There's somebody behind a lot of these things. And there probably was 50, 60, 80 years ago with Snap-on. But I feel like that's gotten lost, and now it's a big corporation that's publicly traded and they just have to make money, make profit. And so I just don't get the, these handles, these dipped handles are junk. Some of the function, like when they designed these dikes, these diagonal cutters, somebody put some design into this, 45 years ago, but they haven't really done anything since. These are squishy. You can see they're already greased up and dirty. I think I've used these like 2 or 3 times maybe. It's just I don't know, it's not inspiring to me. But this is a tool grid setup with wrenches. The other problem, pliers and cutters and channel lock version of pliers. But it's just, this drawer was probably $6,000 or $7,000 worth of tools. And it just doesn't feel like it. The whole experience doesn't feel like it. It's just not super exciting. I have this drawer empty. These are the foams. They only do a couple of tools in foam, so I'd ordered it in the foam. Probably wasted my money on it. The foam's okay, Seems like it's either CNC'd or water jet or something like that. But I wanted the tools to be in the tool grid. And then this bottom drawer I'd set up, I needed the height of the drawer. Again, what I should have done is I should have eliminated this drawer and just made this drawer taller. I did the same thing. I did a custom ordering on the right side, because normally they put a 12-inch deep drawer for people to put all their, their canteens and junk and stuff like that, I guess. But I didn't want that. I wanted useful functional drawers, and so I ordered this Toolbox custom. And so this is where these are really junky. I mean, these are made in Spain, not USA. I do like these scrapers. The handles suck, but the function of these are probably going to be pretty darn nice. These scraping tools would come in handy. They have metal goes all the way through, so you can hammer on them. And then, of course, we have pry bars that I ordered. I ordered a bunch of stuff, trying to put together a pretty decent mix of tools for the Snap-on box. And I found it really hard to put together a complete set of tools. It's not as complete. You'll see in a second. So the Sonic box has 980 tools plus 21 Milwaukee tools in it. It's just much more complete, much more robust. These hammers do certainly look very functional. I'm sure they'd last a long time. They're obviously lifetime warranted, like most tools are, but they just look goofy to me. It's just not. That's all I can do is just shrug my shoulders and say, look, I mean, I want to love this. So my history goes back, my whole life. Everybody just assumes that Snap-on's the best. Many of you are discounting every word I'm saying because Snap-on to you is the best. It's just not. You know, if you get your hands on some other stuff, some of these German tools, or we got some Japanese tools over here. I mean, if you're going to pay, I can import this from Japan. This Nepros tool, import this from Japan, and I compare it to the Snap-on version, and everything about this is better, and it is less money. Just crazy. It's even less gooped up. It's funny, Nepros doesn't need to send it with a bunch of grease. This is just from me using the darn thing, this high polish stuff. So I don't have to add it up, but I'm pretty sure this is like $50 or $60 less than this, you know, from Snap-on. And this Snap-on is made here, so there's no currency, issues, there's no, you know, importation and taxes and duties and stuff like that, so it just doesn't make as much sense. The casters are super functional, but they're freaking hideous. You know, the locking mechanism's great. You can get them in black, from what I understand. I wish I would have known that. I would have gotten them in black. The locking mechanism works okay. Seems to function pretty well. It rolls around okay. They just don't look very good, which, whatever. I don't think that matters very much. I'm just looking for, you know, if I'm doing a toolbox for $14,800, I would want it to be perfect. And it's not. I mean, you can see the gap here is quite a bit different than the gap on the left. You know, it's just a little bit of warping in the core of the top. You know, you can see the sand marks where they're sanding off the bends and welds on the stainless. It just doesn't look super great. The locking mechanism works okay, but if I can get a toolbox without a darn lock, you know, I would choose that, but I get why, you know, it needs to have a lock, but the locking mechanism seems to work okay. And then a lot of people prefer to be able to open up all the drawers, you know, so this one doesn't lock a drawer like most toolboxes would, so it doesn't tip over. So you do have, I don't have enough weight in here. I think I could probably open up all the drawers and it probably wouldn't fall forward. But if you start to fill it with a bunch of stuff, you know, you could tip the box over. You'd have to do something pretty aggressive for that to happen. It does roll quite well, and it is nice that you can unlock and have all four wheels move if you wanted to. That is something that is a nice feature that the Sonic box doesn't have. And clearly those casters are more robust than the one in the Sonic. I just find that the Sonic casters to be more simple looking, and they do what I need them to do. So I'm sure that's a significant premium for those casters. So I guess in a perfect world, I'd probably have these in black with a little less bulk here, because these casters don't look great. They look simple. And then the handle's pretty functional, but it's just too, this is where we get into, preferences, but this is just too American. This is coming from American, you know, just too bulky and chromy and just stupid logo's got to be on everything with a dumb wrench in the logo, then with the NASCAR writing, and it functions, so I shouldn't be complaining. But I'm sharing with you what I would prefer to have a better designed handle, something billet or something that was not cast like this, and certainly not chrome. Something you could always just pull off and paint if you wanted to, but it is robust. The handle does do what it needs to do, and you could mount it on either side if you wanted to. So now the Sonic box, Sonic's fit and finish, so the edges are squarer. I scratched up the top when I was working on it here, but it's only inevitable they're all going to get scratched. You don't see any like sanded, marks where they either bent or welded. There's no, pinch weld, the tack weld spots on it. The corners are square, the drawers are square. The finish, there's less imperfections in the finish. It is a matte finish, which is a little easier to do than a shiny, powder coated finish. The plastic caps on the edge, the protectors are just well done, just designed really well. You do have things on the side that there's accessories that you can get for it, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the handle is integrated and internal into the rails on the side. So, most classic car guy Americans would say, oh, I want that, look at that. I prefer something like this that is just more subtle, more European. I just find that most of the tools I prefer are Japanese and European tools over the American-made stuff. There's just less jank, a little more precision in general, I found, especially in the ones that I end up liking. So this, because of the cost of this, the cost difference, the tools are a lot less. So I have 980 tools in the foam inlays, so 980 individual pieces versus 476. For an average price, I think it was $14,756 in tools, excluding the Milwaukee stuff in here. So $14,000 worth of tools and 980 tools leads to like $15 on average per individual tool. And then one could say, well, it's because it's junk. I don't think so. I mean, that cabinet array is filled with this stuff. I don't think anyone could argue that Mike Figuera is not a legit, mechanic, a legit craftsman. And, I think I've kind of started to steer him. He's been a diehard Snap-on guy his whole life. And I think he's starting to come around to the concept that, first of all, there's no better organization solution on the planet currently than Sonic. And so then the disadvantage to this is that you got to do Sonic. And so Sonic is manufacturing some stuff, in different places in the world. I don't really care where it's made. I just know that if you gave me the option of this screwdriver versus this screwdriver, I'm choosing this. The handle, it's just, this does have the wrench, function, but, we can add that if you wanted to on some of the Sonic stuff, but I don't know, so it's just a preference thing, the matte finish versus shiny finish. This one's all gooped up, I don't know why this is how it shows up new. I haven't even used this darn thing. Both of these are brand new. It just comes kind of sloppy. Everything about it is just normal American slop. That just kind of turns me off. I know it doesn't matter for you guys that are like pure function, pure mechanic guys, and I know many of you are discounting these tools. You have all these excuses. You can drop excuses because the excuses don't frickin' matter. The warranty on this is better, in my experience. I got to wait for the guy to come with the truck, and then he doesn't have the thing on the truck, and then I got to wait for him to come back a week or 2, 3 later. I can take a picture of this and have it shipped, and have it from Auburn, Alabama in a day or 2. I could pay, if I wanted to probably have it overnighted. But they're coming from Alabama, so for us in Florida, you can get it in a day. So that warranty thing is not a big selling point anymore. Made in Taiwan versus made in USA, anyone I think could make a valid argument for that. But the fit and finish of all of this stuff, I haven't used this. I have used a bunch of that, and that I've been cleaning, and it still isn't clean. This I don't have to clean. That to me is worth some value. I get why they would grease up and oil up the impact stuff, but generally speaking, this is my preference. This gets me excited. I've tried to get excited about this because I'm tool gridding it out, but I'm just telling you what my gut is saying. And I know that many of you are saying, well, you can't, it's because you're selling Sonic. I'm telling you, you can believe it or not, but I only sell what it's not I sell what I can sell, it's I sell what I love, not the other way around. I don't love it because I sell it. I would punt this in 10 seconds. In fact, what I'm working on with all these tools, there's 20-something thousand worth of Hazat tools there, most of which I'm not gonna like. There's a couple grand, $2-3 worth of Japanese Nepro stuff on that cart, some of which I'm going to like and not like, and I'm trying to replace all these. And I keep coming back to this stuff, and I'm going to replace a lot of this stuff, but take it for what it's worth. I'm not going to fight you on it. So this tool set is, again, 980 pieces. So we can add up, this is 120 pieces or whatever, that was 130 pieces above it, and I'm adding it all up just like I'm adding that up. So I got 980 pieces in these various drawers. This is my favorite drawer, 1/2-inch drive. Just looks freaking fantastic. Doesn't just look good, it functions really well too. The tools work great. I haven't broken a single tool. I haven't broken a single Snap-on tool either. So breaking tools, I think, is much ado about nothing. How often do you break tools? And if you do, what's the big deal? Just get another one, you know, and they're all warranted anyway. So everybody warranties. So we have I like these better because of the finish. You know, the finish is better, but you know, this is a chrome palladium made in Taiwan. I think these are made in Taiwan. These might be made in China. I don't care. I like this a lot. I like these wrenches. They function really well. They look better. They stay cleaner. You know, I don't think these are probably not the best wrenches in the world. I'm going to order a bunch of others. I thought maybe the Hazettes were, but I like these better than the Hazettes. I mean, even the Hazettes, these really expensive German ones, this is made in Germany. Not so great. Now this is kind of a weird offset type wrench, but the fit and finish. Again, if we're nitpicking, these will all work fine. We're nitpicking, but there is oftentimes some precision in Chinese manufacturing that, if done right and designed well, sometimes can be best in class. And then you have this drawer. These are NWS tools. So Sonic doesn't make these. NWS is a German plier manufacturer, competitor with Knipex channel lock. And then you have this drawer. Man, it looks so good. It just makes me happy. Their hammers are junk. I don't like the hammers. They work. They just don't have great hammers. And then this bro here. We tried to put together a pretty robust set of tools. So this is what we call the advanced Obsessed Garage package with, I think I did 3 other drawers to add on to fill in some of the gaps of the advanced package. And then, we'll show you the top drawer in a second here, but I added in order to get our pricing set up, because we have $14,000 in tools, $5,800, and so $14,800, so say $15,000 and $5,000, so we have about $21,000 worth of, a little over $20,000 worth of toolbox and tools. So I got 980 tools and I got a $5,800 toolbox. I've got 476 tools and a $15,000 toolbox. So this toolbox is better. It's a better toolbox. It's heavier duty. I don't like the look. I like this better, the look of this better. But if you were comparing, if we created a score, and then netted out, function and size and storage and all of that, and casters and weight, and I would say that this is a better toolbox. But this to me should be, if that's $5,800, this should be $7,500. That's where the problem comes in. And so I'm paying $3,500 more for this, and I don't think it's worth it. So we have this drawer, we have this drawer. I've got some foam inlays to fill this. They don't make a foam inlay for the extra deep drawer that's 720 millimeters wide. So maybe at some point they'll make it, but they do make an insert. Whereas the drawer above it, what I did was I took and tool gridded out so I can put my bits in here. And then this drawer has the last foam inlay, which I have to get. This is SAE tools. This is where I have to get the foam. I have some foam at home. The foam fillers are out of stock. Is the one thing I couldn't get. Not to mention, this. I had 6 or 7 visits from the truck. Still didn't quite get everything I wanted for this giveaway in time. I don't think that's a real big negative or positive either way, but it was a lot of work to do this. I was able to go on obsessedgarage.com, or if you don't want to buy it from me, go to sonic.com and order the stuff and have it shipped to you and have it all. I had all of this, the toolbox and all of the stuff in like 3 days. This took me 3 months, so take that for what it's worth. I don't know how much it's worth. And then here's where the big value add comes in. So I have more tools. In many cases, almost every case in this instance, I prefer, and I know I'm blaspheming here, I prefer the Sonic tools over the Snap-on tools. I know that's crazy. I prefer the fit and finish of this, but this is a better toolbox. So take that for what it's worth. But this is where the value changes substantially. So this is an $11,000 drawer. I was able to add, $10,000, $11,000 worth of Milwaukee individual parts and pieces, 21 tools. So this is what I call the Obsessed Garage Ultimate Automotive Package, the Obsessed Garage Ultimate Drill Driver Package. We have SDS. I've got the stubbies. We've got high torque, mid torque, compact torque, impacts. We have all of the high speed and ratcheting tools, as well as the right angle stubbies. We have the new tool grid organization system with a Milwaukee, what I call ultimate drill driver accessory package. It's a $3,500 package of bits and individual parts and pieces. And I'm able to still come in $4,000 less retail than Snap-on. Now, in fairness, I paid 28 grand for this and 31 for this. So I'm technically $3,000 more. So we could really take out the bit set and we would have like for like. But I wanted to fill the drawers in as much as I could. We also have this drawer here as well with the woodworking bit set. So that's the final drawer. So I was able to fill up this toolbox with the exception of the very bottom drawer. So there's some expansion room there. This toolbox has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 empty drawers. And I'm still $4,000 or $5,000 more for my Snap-on box. So my conclusion is, at the end of this, what I thought, and I wanted to put my money where my mouth was. It goes back 10, 15 years ago when I thought my path was always going to be that I would be a Snap-on for life, ride or die guy. Snap-on to me was always taught. Was always taught to me. It was my dad and my grandparents. Everybody's always talked about if you want to do the best. So you do Craftsman unless you can do the best, and most of my family, Craftsman was the only thing that was in reach. But I come from a long line of mechanics and mechanical people, and Snap-on has always been the household name. And but I don't think that any of my relatives ever had it because they couldn't afford it. And I know why. I make a freaking zillion dollars and I can barely swing this darn thing. In fact, I'm doing a raffle to get out from underneath it because it's so expensive. I can't even imagine having like one of those big giant cabinet arrays. So, or toolbox arrays, because their cabinet arrays are terrible. So I thought that my path was going to be the goal would be to get rich, and then you can have like the Snap-on guy come to your house or come to your hobby garage, and you could build an arsenal of tools over time. And the first time I went, I was in my late 20s, early 30s when I started to make some money for myself. And I went on a Snap-on truck ready to spend some money, and I just couldn't find anything that I thought was great. Like as soon as you go and you grab one of these pliers, and you're like, there's got to be better than this. And this was me 15 years ago, not really knowing much, having Craftsman. Some hand-me-down Craftsman stuff. And I'm like, wait, how much is this thing? This is like $90, and like, this is what I get? And then, oh, no, the price isn't $90, that's just the retail price. And then we have to do all this gamesmanship. And the fact that just touching this is sticky. And I thought, man, there's gotta be something better. And then I opened the base toolbox, and you have the old ones with the weird little finger latch thing. I'm like, this is terrible. How much is that toolbox? $12,000? What? What am I missing here? It was very similar to the first time I took my previous version of M3 to the track, and I thought I was going to be a hardcore track guy, and I just didn't like it. And so, to each his own. Maybe you love this stuff. I just think that maybe most people haven't been exposed to greatness. And so that turned me off, 15 years ago when I went in the first Snap-on truck. And here I am today, and I sort of had that bias. I didn't buy any tools, and I'm like, maybe I need to buy this stuff. Maybe I need to start using it, buy it, and maybe my opinion would change. And so rather than having an opinion of my experience of going onto the truck, now I have a true experience of having spent, $27,000 of my own money, and having a toolbox that I can't wait to get out of here. Take that for what it's worth. I've said that about 7 times in this video. It's still a remarkable set of tools. It's going to be awesome for somebody to get. But if you're asking me today, forget selling anything, which one am I choosing? It's not even close for me. Every single person that's walked in here, not even close. Which would you rather have? It's more money. Easier to resell because you have the bias that I had, that we all have, that Snap-on is the best and there's no way around it. I don't think Sonic is the best. I know that Snap-on is not the best. I think the best is out there, but the best has not been put together yet. There's probably a few toolboxes in the world where people have put together Facom and Knipex and Hezed and Wera and KTC and Koken and maybe I would wager that maybe there's some Snap-on in that best in class, but based on what I've learned thus far, I don't think there would be a best in class in anything. So anyway, thanks for watching this series. It's been a lot of fun. And this is just the start of me digging into tools. What I wanted to answer in this whole project was, am I an idiot? Is Snap-on the best? Should I just stick with it and just cancel this whole thing and then I can just send everybody to Snap-on? The answer is absolutely not. I'm certain of that, having all these tools laying around here, that there is a better way. And so I'm going to work on that and figure it out. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. If you want a chance to enter, this is the last day. Make sure you get it in before midnight Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to draw the winner a few days after this video is out and ship these boxes out. And next boxes are going to be Lista and Rousseau is the plan. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.